or if this were a cis dude.
Lock them all up. What are you talking about?
That's my point. I'm saying it shouldn't matter.
Yeah.
That's my point. I'm saying that I don't think your identity should matter when you're doing something like this.
And let's keep it real though. When things like this happen, the gloves be off, we drag. So the fact that people are misgendering her at the same time, I don't nobody want to hear you say "don't misgender her" after she did that to a 13-year-old kid.
I think we have space for both, right?
Yeah, well, sure.
In the same way that if a black person did something awful to somebody, we wouldn't allow white people to call them niggas while they're criticizing them, right? We'd say, you know what? Don't call them niggas and drag this person. Sydney Starr should be dragged.
I'm not saying
Is that a
no. And hear me out. Let me make this clear because I want to make sure that
I don't think a misgender is a slur.
If I call it,
no, misgender is absolutely a slur.
It absolutely
is. It's a slur?
It's a real
to trans people, yes, dead naming and misgendering. That's what I'm saying.
What I'm saying is wrong about that part, but I do think it's different. But let me say this too.
Hold on. I'm sorry. Wait. If you not knowingly called.
No, I'm talking about.
It's always known.
No, I'm talking about everybody knows
knowingly.
Sydney Starr. I'm saying right now,
But I don't know what Sydney Starr identifies as today. If someone just says that's a transgender person, okay, you present as this, but you
that
still,
gets to be a tricky.
Let me just make my point. What I'm saying is that if we know that somebody is a trans woman and they identify as a woman, and we intentionally call them a dude, that's what I'm saying is.
You telling me that's the same as calling somebody a nigga?
Yo. Can men get pregnant?
Depends. I know.
What does it depend on?
I know trans men that can get pregnant.
That means it's a woman.
Yo, it's Big Ant, the spokesman, man. We back. Another edition of Urban Politicians TV, UPTV. Make sure you stay on your pivot at all times, man. Had to come tap in, and I want to make sure I came and doubled down on my stance with Marc Lamont disrespecting black people by comparing somebody being called the N-word for doing something wrong as in a correlation of conversation of somebody being misgendered because they did something wrong as a form of disrespect, as this came out on episode 955 of the Joe Budden podcast, and I had a link in the description where y'all can watch that in full if you need more of the context, but what was said. And I didn't even know, I put that other clip in there when he was talking to Candace Owens, talking about men can have the babies if they trans and all this other hogwash and nonsense, because I had saw that before, but I really didn't pay attention to it. I didn't really dive in, but it been brought back to my attention right now, so I get the full context and understanding of how sad that dog really is. But in his responses, dog was getting on here saying, bro, I don't know what the books you've been reading, but burn them. This was the most insane thing you've ever said, is what somebody told him. He responded with, what's insane about it? I don't think that we should use slurs or other identity-based insults against people, even when they do awful acts. I didn't say that misgendering and using the N-word were the same thing. It was a reductio as absurdum. Unfortunately, I wasn't allowed to finish the thought. Then he responded to somebody that said, no, I get the sentiment, as did your co-host, but that's such a bad analogy. Nothing will compare to a white person calling a black person the N-word due to the context. Misgendering someone intentionally is bigoted, but not remotely the same. He said it's not an analogy. I'm challenging the argument that it's okay to be bigoted if the act they committed is bad enough. The N-word is an extreme example to disapprove the premise. Again, reductio in absurdum, not an analogy. Bro, that's exactly what you did when you brought them up together. That's just what that is. You compared the two. I knew he was going to come with the word antics, word theatrics, salad, and everything of the sort. We not doing that, bro. And this is disrespectful to black people as of what they've been through in this country. Our history, our lineage, the suffering and pain that comes behind the N-word. 500 years plus, even on to this day of what goes on with that and how black people have been treated. Where black people from America, you minimize them and what they've been through when you say things like this, for the simple fact they don't have a choice whether they black or not. They don't have a choice to be seen as somebody from this root, from this lineage of this country whose ancestors went through slavery. So calling them a derogatory term that was meant to harm, dehumanize, disrespect, treat them like they less of a human, is not you calling somebody from a gender that they was born as, what they want to be identified as, and what they feel that they are, as opposed to what is scientifically proven, documented. We have pronouns. We have an English definition, and it's so crazy because dog is gonna try to use word semantics and use definitions of words to fill them in and try to make it make sense. But then to use these words that you're gonna try to use in definitions by what these words mean, that means that you're purposely not trying to pay attention to what these other words mean. He, she, is, ain't, and you dying on this hill behind this dude sitting his star after what he did for real. Ain't nobody ever seeing it that way. Don't ever make they fight, they problems, they issues, because that boy can wake up tomorrow while he possibly finna get this jail time for what he did to the 13-year-old. Y'all go look that up. I don't even know the official age. They say 13, but the charges was less than 16. Supposedly, allegedly, also found a condom there as well. You about to defend that and die on that hill for this nonsense. For the simple fact, this person can wake up tomorrow and say, you know what? I don't even want to be a girl no more. I want to be a dude again. Come on now. But when you listen to that convo with Candace Owens, it shows you who he really is.
I want to be identified by this name. Why not just honor that?
If you changed your name, I will honor it.
But why not? I mean, I'm sure you call people by nicknames, dog. I'm sure you grew up in a black neighborhood, right? People, I know you know somebody named Peanut, right?
Yeah.
Right. You don't say, well, that's not your legal name. Your mama named you Joe. I'm gonna call you Joe.
No, I'm saying if a name is one thing, but if you're asking me to change pronouns, I'm not going to do that because these are established pronouns. You're asking me to now change the English language, right? We know why we call female, she, her, girl, woman. Okay, these are words that have meanings. These are words that have meaning. So this is a book, right? So could you call this is a book and this is a mug? Could you call this a book and call this a mug? Yes, you could do that if you want to change it, but words have meanings, right? So now if I switch it and you say, well, this mug wants to be called a book, it's a mug. It's just a mug. This is the wordable meaning of words to accommodate you. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. It is because not only is it a request, you can now get in trouble in certain states.
I'm saying that's not
for misgendering someone.
The request of the trans community is not that I'm actually a man, but I want you to pretend I'm a woman. The argument of the trans community, which I agree with, is no, I am a woman. And so I want you to revert me.
But you're not a woman. So that's the problem. So this is what I say is now you've asked me to take on your mental disorder, right?
And I say that for the simple fact, bro, you obviously have chosen the side of, hey, I'm going to defend this group because it's financial benefit. It's something else going on behind the scenes with you, bro. You don't want to call a spade because you don't want to affect money. You don't want to feel like you're separating somebody or whatever it is. But we got to call it out. Don't compare what my people and my history on this country been through to none of that other stuff where people have these feelings and emotions and they want to remove common sense and logic because of they have something going on with their life. They can claim whatever they want to claim. They can rep whatever they want to rep. That's cool. Whatever you want to be seen as, that's cool. But what we not about to do is minimize our people fight and plight to protect somebody else and act like they going through the same thing. That's disrespecting your own people. I'm going to call that out every single time. And y'all only do this, people in this game, because you don't want to face cancellation. You don't want to get backlash, or you maybe been incentivized by a group somewhere behind the scenes, or you see something from it. I ain't saying that you got to go against them. I ain't saying that you got to sit up there and call them out. All I'm saying is don't get out here defending stuff that don't make no sense at all, and then for sure don't come out here defending stuff that don't make no sense and comparing it to us and our people for everything we've been through with the pain and suffering and agony, all these stuff that our people went through all these years over here. We not doing it, man. Tell me what y'all think. We got more coming, more videos, all that. 1,000 for shit show. Stay on your pivot.